We're back with part 3 of our deep dive into the disappearance of Sarm Heslop, and now it's time to really get into the theories.
Yeah, we've laid a lot of groundwork understanding the timeline, the key players, the challenges of the investigation, and now we can start to piece together those different scenarios, those theories about what might have happened to Sarm.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. What are the main theories that have been put forward?
Well, as we've touched on before, the two most prominent theories are accidental overboard fall and, of course, the more sinister possibility of foul play.
Right. And each of those has its own set of arguments and evidence and counter-arguments.
hmm
So let's start with the accidental overboard fall. What's the thinking there? What supports that idea?
Well, the proponents of this theory often point to the fact that the incident occurred at night on a boat. It's conceivable that Sarm, maybe disoriented or sleepwalking, could have accidentally fallen overboard.
Yeah. Especially considering they were anchored in a bay not out at sea, the waters would have been relatively calm.
Right. And they also emphasize that there were no obvious signs of a struggle or foul play on the boat. So if there had been a violent altercation, you'd expect to find some evidence of it.
Okay, so that absence of signs of a struggle seems to lend some weight to the accidental fall theory. But what about the other side? What are the arguments against it?
Well, there are a few significant holes in this theory. First of all, Sarm was an experienced sailor. She was comfortable on boats, familiar with safety procedures. It seems unlikely that someone with her experience would simply fall overboard without any attempt to call for help or try to grab onto something.
Right. And her belongings, her phone passport, everything was left on board the catamaran.
Exactly. And that really suggests that she didn't leave the siren song voluntarily.
Bringing us back to that big elephant in the room that DeLong had reporting. If it was truly an accident, why did Ryan Bain wait so long to contact authorities?
That's a question that has plagued this case from the beginning, and it really casts a shadow of doubt on the accidental fall theory.
For sure. Okay, so let's look at the other side, the foul play theory. What evidence or arguments point in that direction?
Well, the supporters of this theory point to a number of factors. We've talked about them. The delayed reporting, the refusal to allow a boat search, and then there's Bain's prior assault conviction.
Yeah, it's hard to ignore those elements.
You're right. And then there's the question of Sarm and Ryan's relationship. There have been conflicting reports about the nature of their dynamic.
Some say they were happy and planning a future together, while others suggest there were tensions or underlying issues.
Exactly. But it's important to remember that relationships are complex. So we can't definitively say that their relationship was a factor, but it's a piece of the puzzle worth considering.
Right. So we have those factors, but then we also have the complete lack of any credible sightings of Sarm after she returned to the siren song that night.
Right. If she had accidentally fallen overboard or gone ashore, you'd think someone would have seen her.
Especially in a small island community. Word travels fast. Plus, no activity on her phone or social media after that night. It really makes you think something might have happened on the siren song.
Yeah. So we have those compelling arguments for foul play, but we also have to look at the other side. What are some of the weaknesses or challenges to this theory?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is the lack of a clear motive. Why would Ryan Bain want to harm Sarm? There's no evidence of a life insurance policy or any financial gain from her disappearance. So the why is still a big question mark.
Absolutely. And of course, there's the issue of the lack of physical evidence. Despite extensive searches, no trace of Sarm's body has ever been found.
Right. But the ocean is a vast and powerful force. It could be that the evidence is simply well hidden.
It's possible, but it's still a major hurdle for the foul play theory.
So where does that leave us? We have two main theories, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. Which one is more likely?
That's the tough part. The case remains unsolved, and there's no official determination about what happened to Sarm. So both theories are still very much in play, and opinions differ widely.
It's a very frustrating situation, especially for Sarm's family. They deserve answers. They deserve closure.
They do. And this case really underscores how complicated missing persons investigations can be, particularly when you're dealing with the disappearance at sea.
We have the lack of evidence, the jurisdictional challenges, the vastness and unpredictability of the ocean, all making it incredibly difficult to find the truth.
It really does make you think. Even in a place as beautiful as the U.S. Virgin Islands, darkness can lurk.
And sometimes the truth remains just out of reach. Well, listeners, we've explored the timeline, the key players, the evidence, and those two major theories. What do you think happened to Sarm Heslop? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Keep the conversation going, share your ideas, and most importantly, never stop seeking the truth. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
True crime, no bull.